and then go to this screen. Right, let me just sort voice chat out so that people can hear you. Voice chat should be that one. No. That one. What? That one. Okay, try speaking.
Okay, I am speaking. Hello.
Okay, it's coming up in OBS, so you must be able to be heard.
I must be.
Woo!
Why not?
Ugh. Right, Alfie, would you like to introduce us?
Sure. Hello and welcome to the Tecshotz Talks podcast, episode 2. We're going strong already with episode 2. What was it, 3 days ago that we did the first episode?
Yeah.
Obviously in that episode was when we accidentally created the podcast during one of your streams, Steve. And yeah, we've decided to make an actual podcast. We've got a proper thumbnail and everything. We've got a different color scheme to the logo for the podcast. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Welcome everybody. My name's Alfie.
My name is Steven.
Yeah, nice. As you can tell, we gel off of each other really well. We are complete professionals.
Yes.
Although, speaking of professionals, I have some statistics on what will make us professional podcasters.
Oh.
If we make it past episode 3, so we make a 4th episode, we are in the top 10% of podcasts globally.
That is interesting.
And then if we make it to 21 episodes, we're in the top 1%. So most people quit within 3 episodes, which, pussies. 3 episodes. We're on episode 2 already. Episode 3. That's not that hard, is it?
We could just end this stream, start another one, and we'd already be ahead.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, we'd be in the top 10%. I mean, this episode would be pretty shit if we stopped it right now.
Is it like being in the top 10% of OnlyFans? Should I put it on my Instagram bio?
I maybe wouldn't suggest OnlyFans, mate. That's quite a different platform to YouTube.
YouTube's going in like the OnlyFans direction. Like, you can post videos, pictures, just make posts.
They are becoming a bit more lax, aren't they, about their rules?
It is.
To try and get
crazy.
Some views. I mean, it's a good talking point if you want to start with that.
I actually I've got a starting point.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You mentioned the thumbnail is different from
Yeah.
our normal logo. Now Alfie knows this because every time it comes up, I just get really agitated. But I disagree with certain uses of AI. But today I was just like, I need to make a logo for the podcast. But I was busy, so I didn't have time to open up the editing app that I usually use and make it. And so I opened up ChatGPT, as Boris Johnson calls it, and decided, maybe I'll get ChatGPT to make me a logo, and that's what it came up with after some direction on what I actually wanted it to do. And I'm not saying that I'm coming around, but I can definitely see like genuine like uses for like AI as a generative thing. Like, obviously in most cases, like it's okay, but when you're using generative AI and you're selling that as a product, and claiming that it is your own, I mean, that's where I take issue with it, because I mean, this was created by AI, the new thumbnail. Nothing to do with me. Alfie made the baseline, which was the actual logo. and I just asked the AI to add an extra word and change the colours. So...
That's fair enough, my friend.
Yeah.
You know, at least you're honest about it. Most people aren't. Like you say, some people will use generative AI and then try and sell it to people, and they're not very clear that it can be done yourself in 2 minutes. I think where there's been a blend of AI and human, I think that's it's a really fine line. I think if you've had to put your own stuff into it and you've just used AI to do the legwork, like say the 90%, I think that counts as a unique product, because without that 10%, it wouldn't have been achieved. I love AI, so we're two very different sides of the spectrum here. You know, you don't hate it, but you try not to use it, and I love using it as much as possible. I opt for simplicity. I don't want to use every single fucking tool on the internet and make my life hell and chaos because I'm using one software to do one tiny task, and then like I've got 50 softwares just to do different tasks. I think some people take it too seriously, and some people are like, oh, try this new tool, this new AI tool, and it only does one thing or two things. That's not really useful because it only applies to one situation. But I like using ChatGPT, and ChatGPT has hundreds of functions. It can do anything. And a lot of people just put in shit prompts and get shit results and go, well, ChatGPT is a bit shit, really. It's just Google with a personality. And, you know, if you put in shit prompts, it is. But if you can learn AI, which sounds stupid, but it is a thing. If you can learn to use AI properly, you can get some really great results. I mean, without knowing it, you've actually done something quite clever that most people don't do with AI, which is you tell it what you want, and then if it doesn't give you the precise output that you want, you keep telling it, no, that's not good enough, no, that's not good enough, and you keep tweaking it until you get the perfect output. Most people will just like give it a prompt, it will do 80% of the work, and they'll just adjust it themselves. And it's like the time that you spent in adjusting it, you might as well have just written it yourself. And I like that side of AI and getting it to actually help me do things. But I think it's also a bit of a buzzword, because there are definitely some softwares available that say they have AI in them, or they say that they are an AI thing, and it is just software. I think we've completely, as a society, we've stopped using software as a word now. We just go, oh, it's AI.
I mean,
it's not.
Yeah. In the sense of like, I mean, AI itself has been around for like a long time, like as a.
It's been a few years, yeah.
I mean, not even like in the modern sense of the word, but I mean, it's people's grandparents when they used to play Pong, like 1800s. But I mean, if you were just playing against,
You're almost out of time. Buckle down and
it was just you, and you're playing against a computer. You know, it is a form of intelligence that is artificial. I feel like it's not just like the way it's evolved. It's also like in the sense that it's always been a thing. It's been a thing for almost as long as like computers have been around, and there are so many different forms of AI. There's generative AI, I can't speak, but you can use it to create videos or images. There's a computer game AI, I guess, like if you're playing the latest Call of Duty game, if you're playing campaign or something single player, all of those bots that you're shooting at have a form of AI written into them. There's educational AI, you know, AI that's used to help educate children in schools. You know, it's such a, people are always like, oh, AI is used for this and AI is used for that, and admittedly, like me, they will moan and groan and all the rest of it, but it is genuinely, it's, people treat it as though it's not such a, like, a broad brush, but it's such a, you could say the word AI and the definition is such a broad brush stroke that genuinely you could be talking about any number of things now, and I feel like that's an important thing to note, is just because AI is being used, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's always, you know, negative, and I have to swallow that and accept it. And you know, I'm not completely against it, as long as it's like, you know, in the age that we're rapidly reaching, as in like technologically, or have already rapidly reached, if you think about it. I think there needs to be full and transparent disclosure in where and when it's being used.
Yeah.
And you know, if you want to use AI to make something completely and then sell it as a product, you know, at least then people are buying a product they know has been made by an artificial intelligence and not somebody who's created it and has claimed that they've put, you know, so many hours or however much effort into creating something that actually they just typed in a couple of lines to a computer and it spat something out at them and they sold it for however much they sell it for. You know, I feel like there has to be full and transparent disclosure, which America is basically going against, from what I read in the news the other day. There's a thing, it was like, there's a 2-year restriction on like AI laws, or something related to AI laws or something, which I thought was a bit like, well, I mean, we've all seen those videos of like AI Donald Trump and AI Joe Biden and stuff like that, just, you know. So I thought of all people, you know, Big Donnie over in the US of A would be, you know, highly against having his likeness and personality replicated by a computer that could do or say anything. And the fact is it's getting so realistic that sometimes you're watching these clips and you genuinely can't tell whether it's actual Donald or fake Donald.
I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast the other day with Elon Musk. I think it's the 3rd episode he's done with Elon Musk, maybe the 4th.
Yeah.
But it's the most recent one at the time of this recording. And Elon Musk likes to talk about AI because he's got on X there's the Grok AI. I think it's also a separate app. I could be wrong, but he's got Grok AI, and he likes to make a whole sing and dance about how Grok is better than the rest. And I'm not disputing that or agreeing with it, but he said with the way that generative I can't say it either.
It's such a difficult
generative AI is going, that in, like, I mean, currently today, right now, it's quite difficult to tell if something's fake, if it's a fake video. Sometimes you can tell, and with AI images, it's quite easy, I find, and I can get into why, but I'll just make my point first. He said in a couple of years' time, you probably won't be able to tell. It will get that good, but you just won't be able to tell. And if it's mimicking or like mocking somebody, if it's trying to impersonate somebody and you're trying to fake something, obviously that's a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a bad thing that we will be able to generate content from AI that's just as good as designers.
Yeah.
You know, people talk about, oh, you know, we don't want AI to be so good because the jobs that it will take. But again, Elon Musk touched on this in his Joe Rogan episode, and he said he was telling a story about how a guy went over to a construction site and they were like digging a hole or something. This was a while ago, and they were using spades. And this is just around the time that machinery had been invented, like diggers and stuff. And he said, why don't you use diggers to dig up a hole? It will dig it up much faster and you won't need as many people. And the argument was, well, it was, you know, that digger will take up loads of jobs, so we don't want to use it. And he said, in that case, you should be using spoons. I just think Elon Musk believes that one of the scenarios possible, like there's loads, and I agree with him. One of the scenarios possible is AI gets to the point where the world can run with minimal humans working, and we would all not have jobs. We would all have equal income, or maybe even currency wouldn't be a thing. But basically, AI could run the world for us with minimal jobs, like you know, maybe like doctors and like physical work. But then most people wouldn't be needed to work, and you could just do whatever you want throughout the day. You can get the food that you need to get and everything. I think it's quite a nice idea. I don't know. Who knows?
It's actually it's genuinely such an interesting subject. Like, not even.
It really is, and it doesn't scare me too much. I think there are some bad scenarios that could happen, and knowing that the way that the world works now, it could go that way. But I like to think of the positive. You know, if everybody has access to everything, there's no jealousy, there's no favoritism, there's no. I'm just thinking about like the insanely rich and powerful people that run the world in silence.
Yeah.
If everybody has everything that they want all the time, including them, then surely even the most selfish people, there's no reason to be selfish and hateful because everybody has everything and everybody is happy. Well, most people. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's a nice thing to think of actually. Like in, I don't know, 40 years time, could we be at a point where the world is fully sustainable with minimal humans working?
It's on the subject of AI. I've got a hiccup coming, and my brother's just texted me. I'm doing a podcast, Liam.
Always a good time on the ground.
I've been rewatching Person of Interest, which is it's a TV show about this, like, it starts off as just these two. One of them's like an ex-CIA agent, and the other one is like this oh my god! English today, can I speak it? Who's like this genius, like, computer coder person who created a machine after the New York incident of 2001, so YouTube doesn't take down our stream. After that incident, this guy basically decided, nah, no more of this. So he built like a mass surveillance machine. Well, they call it a machine. It's an AI, but that monitors people and you know, spits out what is it they have? Social security number. If they you know, they think this person's about to commit an act of such a caliber. But this machine that this guy created, as the show goes on, we're introduced to a rival artificial intelligence that, you know, the people that created this one, basically they worship it, and they're like, yeah, we'll do your bidding, no problem. As opposed to the machine that was originally created, which was a closed system. You know, this guy built it, sold it to the government for I think $1, and made it closed so that they can't access it and alter its code and reverse engineer it and create a new one, and you know, all the shitty things that a government would do given such a, well, I guess a weapon of mass surveillance. But it's spat out two different categories of numbers based on you know, threat or something like that. It was the first one was relevant, so that would be relevant to national security. So threats that would be so bad that you could have another 2001 incident. And the other one was irrelevant. So, you know, I guess what would be described as a petty crime in comparison, so like a murder or something like that. It was normally a murder, like someone's life was in danger. But I think like that show, it started coming out in 2011, and the world that we're living in now is that show is so ahead of its time. Just in the pure sense that it basically predicted where we're going. You know, eventually, the government will have these tools, and if it doesn't already, you know, to monitor, you know, who's good and who's bad, like a really extreme version of Santa's naughty and nice list, I suppose. But the show is genuinely, it's so incredibly like eye-opening as an experience. Because that was why I started watching it, because we had a discussion about AI a few weeks ago, and I was like, maybe I'll go back and rewatch this, and you know, just because AI is relevant.
Yeah.
And you know, the comparisons between the two intelligences themselves, one was basically evil and the other just wanted to do its job, but also ended up becoming more biased towards people that, you know, used it to save people. It became more biased towards its creator and his friends, and helped them along. But it was described in the show as two gods going to war.
Right.
While I think that is extremely exaggeratory of, you know, just two groups of code, who's to say that we don't eventually get to the point where, you know, I mean, AI is watching us and you know, deciding whether we're threats or not threats, and that's how we end up getting categorized in the future. No, it's not.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting conversation, and I think I would hope that like AI is being used in trial runs before it gets fully implemented. So they try using AI for surveillance, they try using AI for making, you know, government level decisions, and if it doesn't work, they go, okay, it's, you know, we're a bit ahead of our time thinking wise here, it's not quite getting things correct, like it's not able to equally judge humans or whatever. There was some sort of like poll or test done by some researchers, and they basically tried to work out, they tested all the AIs that are readily available. So you've got ChatGPT, Grok, Google Gemini, there's Claude by Anthropic, there's I think there's like a Llama 3.3 or something like that. There's a few others, right? But they tested all these AIs, and they basically got it to value human life based on certain things. So like race and ethnicity, age, other sorts of factors, right?
No.
And the only AI that valued all human life at the same level was Grok. So basically, like, I know this came from Elon Musk, and I don't think he'd lie about it because it's quite easy to just go and check that fact. But like, just taking away from the fact that Grok didn't value human life differently, that means that all the others did, and that's quite concerning, because actually what we're witnessing here isn't AI being racist, because AI doesn't give a fuck, right? It's the programmers who are, or the companies that own the AIs are then putting their own agendas and their own opinions on these AIs, and getting it to, they're telling it to do something which might actually affect the output or the quality of the output that you're getting from the AI. For the most part, it's not a problem right now. If I ask ChatGPT to write me an email, and it's going, well, I know that Alfie is a white male, so I'm going to write it slightly differently because I don't like him, and I'd prefer he was a Nigerian. Like, it doesn't really matter too much, but when it comes to AIs who are making like government level decisions, or doing surveillance or stuff, what if it starts to stereotype based on what the companies or the programmers have told it to do, as opposed to just pure data? These are computers, these are computer systems, they are supposed to be 100% logical. Why are we trying to put emotion in there? Emotion kills logic. They're two sides of a scale, and people who you think are quite level-headed are usually quite balanced in emotion and logic. Some people who you think are dicks but you would go to sort out your finance are quite logic heavy, but they're not very good with emotion. It's why are we putting emotion into a computer system that's supposed to be 100% logical? And that's clearly what they've done with Grok, is they've gone, well, I'm not going to tell you which human lives are more valuable or not. They're all human.
Yeah.
They're all the people that are sending you requests. Just do it. Like, there's no need. And I think Google, the head of the Google Gemini development team, actually said his team didn't put anything like that in the AI, but once they built the AI, it was another team, like a PR team or something, who had control over doing the final touches. So that's when they went and added in loads of like ethical shit, basically trying to like humanize, but with opinions. So you were never going to get it right, because an opinion is never correct 100% of the time.
No.
It depends who you ask. I disagree with all of that, and I just hope that doesn't make it into government level decisions and surveillance, and when we get a bit more trustworthy of AI and start using it for more important stuff, I just hope that doesn't make it in. I hope they use a non-biased AI, but it's governments, you know what they're like. They don't test any of the shit that they pay for. They just pay a company to do it, and it always fails, especially the UK government. That's what they're like. Theresa May gave like 100 billion pounds to a ferry company for Brexit, I think, and they didn't own a single boat. It was like, did you not even fucking check? I think she just found like the cheapest quote possible and just went with that. And not her personally, but a team. And that's such a government thing, is they're always spending money on stuff that doesn't actually work. But it is what it is, and it will come round to AI. AI will have its turn to fuck over the government, but that's probably a much longer conversation to have further on, closer to that time.
No.
But I think for the most part, AI is quite cool, and yeah, there's some people trying to exploit it at the moment. But I think it's going to be taught in schools in a couple of years. It has to be. Like it is. It really, if you use it properly, it is a really good tool. And I think the people that don't use it, which is going to be, when I say don't use it, I mean don't ask it what you're having for dinner. Like that doesn't count as using AI.
No.
Yeah, you can do that, and it will help you out with that 100%. I've done it, but like that doesn't count as using AI. I mean, like using AI to help you write emails, help you build careers, help you generate pictures and generate documents. Like that sort of using AI, getting it to do work for you. I think most people don't actually use it. I think everybody has used ChatGPT, but I think most people don't use it in the sense that I say using AI. And the people that use it properly will get ahead in careers, in business, in relationships, in content. I think you'll really get ahead. But I think the biggest thing that having AI gives us is actually originality. I think everybody who does use AI is just chucking in the same fucking prompts to it. They're not personalizing it. They don't have you've got in ChatGPT, I don't know about the others, but you've got in the settings you can set personal instructions. So you can tell ChatGPT how you want it to talk to you. You can tell it about yourself, and it remembers that stuff. And it's really useful for creating more specific prompts. Nobody uses it. I use it, but I'm pretty sure most people don't use it. I've even done a course in AI and it wasn't mentioned. I thought it would be the first thing that was mentioned, but it wasn't mentioned at all. I think people are going to start to miss originality when they can just have somebody sat in front of a camera telling them something. I think like a talking head video, even if the scripting is AI, just like not talking like an AI and just being original and true is gonna be like, they're gonna be the creators, especially like in the YouTube world, they're gonna be the creators that do the best in the next couple of years. Like, have your AI thumbnails, have your AI like prompts for scripting, but like if you don't have a full-on script that you read word for word from AI, you actually talk off of your brain and you have interesting points to make, you're just talking, that's going to become so rare that that's what gets you to the top of like YouTube especially. And like it goes for anything, you know. My job, I write a lot of emails. I think there are going to be so many people using AI to write their emails that the people who still write them with a bit of personality, a little bit of humour, are going to be the people that do best in business, in networking. And to be honest, some people act like they're AI and they're not even using AI, they're just boring. So I think originality is the key. I think learn AI, get it to do the 90% legwork for you. If you're not using AI right now, fucking start right now. Open up ChatGPT, create an account, and just talk to it. Just anything. Even if your first prompt is, I've never used ChatGPT before, and you send that, it will talk to you. Just talk to it like a human, and you'll start to learn how to give it good prompts. But just bear in mind that originality is going to be the top draw in the next couple of years. It is now, I think, but I think it's going to become even more as AI becomes more and more and more impressive and can do more. I think originality is the key to being human, and AI is going to do a really good job at trying to be human after you've given it 10 attempts to do so, but it's still not a human. humans can tell when other humans have done stuff. We all pick up on habits and patterns. You don't think you do, but you do. And it's there's a reason, right? There's a it's a human test, they call it. So they test AIs against this human test, they call it. And it's basically, once they've run an AI through this test, it gives it a score from 1 to 10. 1 being the least like a human, 10 being the most like a human. And that's how they gauge how good AI is. It's been around for years, but that's how they gauge it. Do you know what score a human gets on the 1 out of 10 human scale? 7.
Really?
A real life human scores a 7 on the human test.
That is embarrassing for any human being to face that test.
Yeah, well, it's because it's actually aimed at AI. So it's actually an AI test at how human they are. But then they tested it against a human. Again, this was years ago. They tested it against a human, and a human, or a few humans, scored 7. That was the average score of a human. So even the people who are writing the code to make something as human as possible don't know what a human is like, because they got it wrong. Because there should have been a 10. We have to remember the people that are writing the AI are barely humans themselves. They sit at a desk all day coding, right, with their beanies on and their fucking suspenders. So let's just remember that. That's very stereotypical of me, and I've worked with software engineers and none of them look like that, apart from one I met. But I think it's good, and it's just, I could fucking talk for fucking 3 hours about AI, and I've probably repeated myself over and over again. But I think if you're not using it, start. But just remember to stay human. Don't let it become your brain. Still thrive to creativity. Just let AI implement that creativity for you. You still do the thinking. You're the brain. You're the human. And just get AI to do the work once you've had that thought. I think that's the best way to use AI. And don't fucking sell anything that you haven't put your brain into. Just simple as.
Activision!
It's yeah. It's just. Although that does lead me on to a good question though. I want to stick with AI, but I want to stop just going in circles about it. So obviously game developers are starting to use AI. They started maybe a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But they're starting to, or they will be starting to actually properly implement it into the games now.
Yeah.
I reckon, some more of the competitive games are probably going to start having some data insights that are powered by AI. I think we'll start to have games where when you interact with NPCs, instead of like 4 options to tell them, you will just be able to talk into a headset to this NPC and just have a conversation, and that will affect your game. I think it will become more ingrained, but right now, as of right now, today, so like Activision, I think they create some of the stuff they sell is actually AI generated digital content. Do you think AI in games is actually improving the gameplay or the quality of life for the gamer, or is it a problem right now?
I think it's not so much the quality of life, because I mean, as long as they're not letting AIs like write the systems, then sure, okay. But I mean, I've come around a bit. I'm less upset about them using generative AI. You know what? I'm just gonna say AI because I can't fucking. I'm less against them using AI in the general, like, let's use it to provide inspiration or blah blah blah.
Face off kill confirmed.
But there was a thing that came out. It was either a few days ago or a few weeks ago. Either way, it was recently. That a lot of people who would normally make art for what's that Call of Duty, for these games, like Black Ops 7 or Black Ops 6, for example. They've lost their jobs because AI is just Activision is forcing these developers to cut corners and you know, just not do their job properly, and then you know, those jobs then aren't there because AI is doing such a bang up job in Activision's eyes that they don't need their jobs anymore. They can just get a computer to do it, and they save loads of money. And you know, these hard-working people who cared about what they were doing lose their jobs. That's a case of where I am very against the use of AI. Is when greedy companies use AI to basically cut corners and do something that people could have done a better job of, or at least a more honest and complete job.
Could I interject?
Sure.
I'd like to go back to the argument of, well, what about when we didn't have machines? Let's take a car factory, for example. A car factory might have had 1,000 people working in it.
I know what you're going to say.
All beating panels and getting it all to shape. The care that was put into each individual car was way higher than it is these days. But these days, you can spend a couple million on a factory and all the machinery, and then you barely need a single person in that factory. In theory, you don't need anybody, but quality inspection's a thing, and you need somebody to turn the machines on. So you'd have a couple people, but you can go from having 1,000 people to 50 or 100 with the machines. But would you say that companies should not do that?
No,
because
I'm not saying don't not use it. I'm saying don't force people out of their jobs and then push out slop because these people aren't there in their jobs to manage the quality of the product. It's like we had a Christmas event last year and Santa in a picture had 7 fingers. If people still had their jobs, that would have been cool. And that's just like one of many.
Your problem with it is that
it's not
they're
being controlled.
using AI to replace people's jobs, but then the quality is also slipping.
Yeah, the quality
So
is
if the
not
quality, so if the quality hadn't slipped for the gamer, the person paying the money, you wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, no, as long as the quality is there, and somebody is there to manage that, and they're not just using these things to push out slop. And basically what I'm saying is these people who lose their jobs to the art making process, the people who make this art, I really wish I could say that word, but apparently my brain just won't allow it. The people who make this art, yeah. If they, you know, sure, okay, you've hired something to create a baseline for that art. It all goes back to use it as a prompt, not as a complete product. You know, use it as an inspiration.
I like it. I think right now, like today, where AI is, I think it's a great tool for getting it to do 75 to 80% of your workload, but still having that human to finish it off. I think it's a great tool to allow one human to do the job of what previously was 4 people, but you still need that one human. And I think the argument of jobs being lost is kind of mitigated by, yeah, we had this problem with machines when machines were first a thing, but look how that went. You know, we all sorted ourselves out, because what it does is we create more jobs in more things.
Yeah.
Where a lack of jobs are, somebody comes in, a pioneer comes in and creates more jobs. They start doing more stuff. If you lost your job making, you're in, like, working in the factory making rocket ships, you lost your job because AI's taking it or a machine's taking it.
No.
You might go and create your own company to make rocket ships. And you might use those same machines and same AIs that lost you your job, but you still need quality people. You need somebody to do the admin. So you losing your job, you've gone and created a business and you need 20 people. So it kind of balances out, and there's new things every day. There's the you know, AI might take a job, but AI needs writing more to take more jobs and do more stuff. So there's people who are writing the AI. There's people who there's plenty of jobs that haven't been invented yet.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of manual work that AI may never be able to do, or won't be able to do in the next 20 years. You know, we've come quite far with robotics over the years, but it's still not human level.
Yeah.
Nowhere near. So it's all well and good that AI can do these incredible things, but it still can't do human work. So there's at least that for us right now as humans.
Yeah.
But I think we have spoken for about 45 minutes on AI.
Yeah.
So we should probably move on to another topic.
I've been bursting for a wee for like the past 10 minutes. So, in true podcast fashion, I'm going to run to the toilet and pray it doesn't turn into a number 2. While I am in the toilet, you can talk about your company.
Oh, okay.
I will be back.
This episode is sponsored by Scrouse Logistics Limited. That's my company, by the way. Scrouse Logistics Limited, we are a medical distributor. Well, we're a fulfillment company. We will do the storage and fulfillment, i.e. shipping, pick and pack, for medical sellers, medical distributors, whatever you want to call them. If you sell a medical or health and beauty product online or in person, and you want somewhere to store your stock and then send it on to customers when you receive orders, look no further than Scrouse Logistics Limited. That's what we do. We're called a 3PL, which is a third-party logistics company. That is what all 3PLs do. But Scrouse Logistics Limited, we specialise in medical, health and beauty, supplementation, those sorts of things. Anything that's meant for the body, really. The reason being is we have a clean, safe environment to store, pick and pack and ship those products, and we take special care with certain products that need those special shipping requirements, whether that's, you know, additional packaging or transport in a certain way, a refrigerated transport, for example. It's my company. I've been running it for over a year now. It's going well. Yeah, Steve's really put me on the spot here with it. If you do have any of those requirements, be sure to check out the website. That is scrouslogistics.com. If you check us out, you'll see more of what we do. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, this is turning into quite a long pitch, really. I don't really know what else to say. You know, I've covered with fulfillment for medical, health, and hygiene products, fast, accurate, and clean handling. If you want a fulfillment provider that is extremely reliable, you're not trying to shave those pennies away, you're not trying to cut the cost, give us a bell. We're not going to be good for you if you do want the cheapest 3PL possible, but if you want a 3PL that cares, is safe and reliable, look no further. We will offer same-day order acknowledgements, complete order accuracy, a clean environment, and simple pricing.
I just want to see how long you go on for.
Oh, you're a fucking dick.
All right.
How long have you been here?
30 seconds.
Oh, you prick. I ran out of things to say after 10 seconds.
I
I've
know.
literally, like, I've just, like, I don't even really pitch it. I've just got, like, 2 sentences to say that are just in my head. And then I'm like, fuck, I need to fill this out. I just need to record, like, an ad, I think.
Yeah, and then just send it to
And just
you.
run it. Yeah, run it over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I need to do.
Oh.
Anyway, would you like to discuss Call of Duty?
We just did. Well, I was supposed to.
We kind of did. Well,
yeah.
that was more specific on AI. Just any updates in the Call of Duty world? Obviously, I don't.
actually-
For the viewers at home, I don't play Call of Duty. I'm not a massive fan of it. That's the same with. But I do play a bit of Fortnite, and it's the complete opposite for Steve. Of he loves Call of Duty, but he hates Fortnite. So we're quite good in that regard.
It's I do actually have some Call of Duty news, and it's positive.
Oh, that's unusual for you.
Yeah. I have done nothing. But Treyarch have revealed Season 1 for Black Ops 7. And it's huge. It's absolutely massive for the usual general crap that they are normally forced to pump out. It's quite impressive the amount of content that we have coming for Season 1. We've got a new Warzone map, 7 new weapons, half a dozen or more modes for multiplayer, half a dozen new multiplayer maps. There's a lot of content coming in Season 1. Which is both, a good thing and also slightly concerning from my point of view. Because I think the only game in we'll call it the modern era, so since Modern Warfare 2019, the only game that has had like completely packed seasons and managed to pull it off was Sledgehammer's Modern Warfare 3. And I get that Infinity Ward are developing Modern Warfare 4 that they're probably going to chuck out next year, and it's going to be shit because Infinity Ward just have massive egos, but we won't touch on that again because it just stresses my brain out. But it's both a comfort and a concern that Treyarch have got such a heavily stacked season, because if Season 1 is so heavily stacked, is there going to be that expectation that every season needs to be like... We've got a brand new Zombies map coming Season 1 launch. That hasn't happened ever in the modern era. In fact, I don't think that's happened full stop. I suppose with the way they used to do it was they used to have 4 yearly DLC drops. So they would come out every few months. You'd get 4 new multiplayer maps, a new Zombies map, and when computer games became a big gambling Empire and they added supply drops, you'd get new weapons that would come in with those few monthly updates as well. And I mean, it kind of works in the same way now, and technically we are getting more than we used to get, and we're getting it for free. But to have such a heavily stacked first season is completely unheard of, like, as opposed to, you know, previous years. And, you know, is the expectation going to be there that, you know, every season 1 through 6 needs to be like this? Because eventually we'll get to August, September next year, and Activision will want to be, you know, they'll want to be focusing on Modern Warfare 4. They'll be like, blah 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 blah, and you know, obviously content will then slow down. But I mean, in recent years, apart from Modern Warfare 3, it slowed down to a drip feed for that last like 2 or 3 seasons worth of content. So I think, obviously, as long as they keep it up and they don't drip feed it, Black Ops 7, apart from the campaign, which we won't talk about again ever on this channel, it's certainly being set up to be an actual decent title. But that's only if they can maintain it. And Treyarch I have faith in, Activision I do not. But yeah, that is actually all of the Call of Duty that I wanted to cover. I just genuinely wanted to express my amazement at the fact that so far it's actually been okay. I mean, granted, we're only like a week and a half in, and Season 1's not even here, and the update could break several major game systems like it normally does with the first seasonal update. But for right now, it's looking good. Like, multiplayer is solid, Warzone hasn't been updated yet, and Zombies is solid, and the bonus endgame mode is actually really good too. So, you know, this is clearly the game Treyarch wanted to make, as opposed to Black Ops 6 being the one that they were forced to make. Is what I'm taking away from this. But that is it for Call of Duty. There have, just touching on Fortnite briefly, there have been seasonal leaks for the next, I don't know what they call it, chapters or.
Yeah, they've got chapters and then seasons within the chapters.
There have been leaks for Chapter 8, I think. And I don't have them in front of me, but I saw that Epic Games had actually responded to the actual leaks and been like, stop it. So Epic is clearly wanting to be very tight-lipped about their next chapter season thingy, which I just thought was very interesting, because in the modern age we live among so many leaks and breaches in information. It's actually uncommon for a project to come out nowadays that hasn't been completely leaked and spoiled on either Twitter or, you know, TikTok or something.
Yeah.
I think that in itself is actually quite fascinating. Is we've got the only 2 like major projects like that I think, well, that I can think of coming out in, well, I suppose 3 coming out in the next few years are, for starters, Stranger Things. That starts again tomorrow morning at 1 AM. And I have to work, so I'm not going to be able to watch it. So I'm a bit annoyed about that. But like nothing has leaked out about this final season, other than what, you know, the creators have told us is happening, which it's actually so refreshing as someone who enjoys watching Stranger Things. It's actually so refreshing to just like be going into it blind. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
with the exception of COD, which I will actively follow when things are leaking out, I generally tend to try and stay away from like leaks as much as I can. So, doing that and actually not seeing any leaks so far. I mean, granted, I'm going to get up tomorrow morning and I'll go on TikTok and the first 4 episodes of Stranger Things are going to be spoiled and I'll be miserable for the rest of the day. But, oh, I think I've just muted my mic. No, I haven't.
No, you're still.
My headphone beeped at me. But to be going into that blind is actually very refreshing. The second one is the next Avengers film. Hasn't really had any major leaks or set leaks or anything like that. Which is relatively impressive for Marvel's track record. That's also refreshing. I mean, in recent years, there's a couple of outliers, but I mean, the general quality of the MCU films has degraded from what it was. And that's not even like rose-tinted glasses. I'm talking from like a purely objective opinion. I mean, technically, yeah. But it's, since Endgame, there have only been maybe 4 or 5 actually like decent projects that have been spat out by the MCU. Spat out even. You've got No Way Home. I actually rate the second Doctor Strange film. I didn't mind it. I know the general consensus is that it wasn't that good, but I quite liked it. The Daredevil TV show is very good. It was a return to form and what Marvel TV shows should have been. It's just a shame that they decided to reintroduce Daredevil to the MCU in She-Hulk, which is quite possibly. I mean, I enjoy it like as a TV show. Like, it was quite good, but like it just doesn't work in that universe. It makes a joke of several characters who aren't meant to be treated as humour. And that's all I'll say about that. Fantastic Four is actually quite good. But it's become such an oversaturated thing since the whole like Disney Plus thing, and they wanted so many TV shows and so many films a year, and they just stretched themselves to the point where it just wasn't good. The other project, other than the next Avengers film, is the next Spider-Man film. Obviously, we've had set leaks. We've seen him on top of a tank and whatnot. But I mean, you've got people like Sadie Sink, the ginger girl from Stranger Things, who's been announced and cast in the film. And it's actually been so fun watching the speculation online, like as to who she's playing. Like, is she playing the Punisher's sidekick, or is she playing Gwen Stacy, or blah blah blah. It's actually been refreshing to see communities actually trying to like theorize and predict what's going to happen, as opposed to just knowing because it's already leaked out. And that actually brings me into my next subject, which is the fact that very well I am excited about Amazon's latest announcement. They are bringing back my favourite franchise ever. Hopefully they don't fuck it. I mean, Amazon, they've got a really good track record with TV shows, I've found. They have released some bangers. You had the Top Gear replacement, the Grand Tour with Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond, which by all accounts was really good. You then had, they all went off and had their own separate shows that Amazon funded and let them do, because they are such big personalities, and they do bring in money. The latest James Bond film, well, not the latest, but the next James Bond film will be created under the supervision of Amazon, because they own MGM Studios, the company responsible for both James Bond and Stargate. I bet you didn't know that. There's a fun little trivia fact for you. MGM produced both James Bond and Stargate.
I didn't know that, no.
So, obviously with Amazon being basically responsible for that absolute juggernaut of a franchise, but seemingly doing nothing with it from what I've seen. Like, I don't even think they've cast a new James Bond yet, and that film came out a few years ago now. Like, that must have been like just post-COVID.
James Bond's a tricky one because they killed off Daniel Craig, and he was such a good James Bond. It's kind of like the dilemma that Rockstar finds themselves in now with GTA 6. Is GTA 5 was really, really good, was so good. It's like, how do you top that?
Yeah.
It's the same with James Bond. It's like Daniel Craig just really fit the role well, and I'm not saying that nobody else couldn't, but he's now solidified in people's minds as James Bond.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to now bring in another James Bond because Daniel Craig was so good, and I think there are a couple of people that could do it quite well, but I think regardless you're going to have people that are annoyed about the casting choice.
Yeah,
and it also did finish really well, so it's like, are people just going to see it as a way to as a money exploit, really? It's like, you finished it, and you finished it with a great actor who didn't want to do any more. Like, do you really want to reboot it? Yeah, it will make loads of money, but like, will it actually ruin James Bond for people?
We're seeing a similar thing happen with Doctor Who at the moment. It's sat in limbo, because obviously Disney have funded it since the 60th anniversary specials in 2023, and that deal was for, I think, 22 episodes. Or it might have been more. No, it's 30 episodes. So you had 10 episodes for seasons 1 and 2, including the Christmas specials, I believe. You had the 3 anniversary episodes, and then they've got a spin-off coming out the next month, which makes up the other few episodes. And then they've not renewed their deal. But it's obvious Doctor Who's such a juggernaut, love or hate it, everybody knows about it. The BBC obviously aren't going to drop it, because if they did now, they'd be idiots, it's just, now it seems it's one of those franchises that it has gone on so long, and the same people have been doing it for so long, that it's purely reliant on nostalgia. It's something that I appreciate its use occasionally, but to have it just constantly thrown in wherever they can fit it in is like, why? It's nice to reference the past, but don't make it the basis for the plot going forward. And
that's a great point.
Yeah.
With like, it's not just TV shows at the moment, it's games, it's movies, everyone seems to be like nostalgia baiting at the moment. they're trying to just do as many remakes of popular things as possible.
Yeah.
You've got all the Disney remakes every 10 years, and I don't know how many people know this. I don't know if it's common knowledge, but the reason that they remake a Disney movie, a Disney original, every 10 years is because that was Walt Disney's dying wish.
Yeah.
Was every 10 years you should remake the movies so that every generation has a chance of growing up on it. And I think I don't know if that's true because I wasn't there when he died, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily make sense because 10-year-olds aren't having children.
No.
The average age in the UK, I think, is 28. Could be a little bit less. Could be like 26. So why are you not remaking the movies every 20 years, which is actually every generation? I don't really understand that every 10 years, but Disney's got a bit of an excuse because they allegedly Walt Disney's dying wish was that it's remade every 10 years. But everybody seems to be jumping on that, and it might be because Disney did this that everybody's jumping on it. But you've got Fortnite OG, which is literally just taking you back to the original chapter of the game, and then every season that you go through in normal Fortnite, it goes to the next season of the old Fortnite.
Yeah.
Which, as somebody who played a lot of the old game, I do actually quite like it. It's nice, but I don't need everything to be nostalgic at the moment, and it's never how you remember it as well. That's always the case with nostalgia. Is nostalgia brings you in, it gets you intrigued because you remember it being so good, and it is never as good as you remember it.
Yeah.
Because you don't get flooded with the emotion of it being the first time.
Yeah.
So it's never as satisfying as the first time. And sorry, I've kind of hijacked what you were saying. You were going on about Doctor Who, so I kind of bring it back. But all the TV series are doing it as well. The series, the movies, they're all doing it. They're all doing remakes, or they're all doing something that's like nostalgia, or they're bringing back an old actor for a character and getting them to interact with the new one. And it's cool to see occasionally, but I don't want everyone doing it. It's boring when everyone does it.
No.
And it kind of loses its touch if we're all doing it at the same time as well. Like, I want to say, like, so Disney was obviously the first people to do it in the movie space. And then I think Fortnite have been the first people to do it in the gaming space. But then everyone else is copying those because they're working. And then because they're working, people do it more. And it just winds me up because it becomes the point of that's all that's available. And then they'll be sat there, there'll be some fucking dickhead in the marketing department who's looking at the data and they're going, this is crazy. Like 90% of our players are playing the nostalgia thing. We should just keep doing it. But actually the reason that 90% of the players are playing it is because there's nothing else, because you've only given them these nostalgia options, and it just becomes boring. And that's how you kill off a franchise, or kill off an entire game, or kill off an entire category in a matter of weeks, is if you just keep giving people the same shit without changing anything up.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happening in Doctor Who, and I'm going to pass back to you to continue your Doctor Who point that I rudely interrupted.
Yeah, it basically is we're not getting a new episode of the main show until Christmas 2026, and the leaks and stuff that have come out about it is basically, from what I understand, it's going to be Russell T Davis's last episode again, for the second time, writing Doctor Who. And last year, well, not last year, last time it was his last episode. He did a good job. You know, it was his and David Tennant's farewell, basically, and obviously David Tennant is at least like the most iconic actor to play the character in the modern era. You know, it was a really good send off. And then, you know, when it came out after people were a bit tired of Chris Chibnall and his writing, it came out that Russell T Davies would be taking over and he'd be coming back with both David Tennant and Catherine Tate. People were like, woohoo! And I was excited, but I was also a bit like, why? I get that it's the 60th anniversary, but why are you coming back now? And then I sort of sat back and I realised it's because the franchise is dying. It's nothing to do with Jodie Whittaker. Like, she is a tremendous... I don't know if you've ever watched Broadchurch. But
no.
She's in that with David Tennant, actually. And she is so good in that. Which is ironically written by Chris Chibnall, who I just don't think is cut out to write anything sci-fi. But she was absolutely brilliant in that. But Chibnall just cannot write sci-fi, and it was so obvious. Some people are just supposed to be fans, and not the creative heads behind these franchises. And he was definitely like the best example of that. So when they announced, you know, RTD and David Tennant were coming back, it was like, woo! And it was also like,
Yeah, that's how I felt with the Fortnite OG when it was first announced, is everybody was like, yes, I've missed OG, and I was like, I don't actually want to play it. I will play it because I've been nostalgia baited, and it is probably one of the strongest like emotions to get people to watch or play something. But like, I don't actually want to because I know it's not going to be as good as when I played it.
yeah.
I'm thinking of memories, and I'm not going to be able to match those memories. And I was correct. It is not as good as I remember it, and it's not as good as when I played it. Because when I used to play it, it was for the first time, and everything was new, and every player had a certain skill level that you were either, you know, matched or a little bit below.
No.
Whereas like it's kind of like it's like driving through your fucking it's like driving through your childhood like village or town or wherever you grew up that you used to cycle through. It's not the same.
No.
It's like when you used to cycle through it, you were like playing a game with your mates on the road, or you were kicking about football on the road or something, and when you drive through it, it loses something. You think, oh, I'm going to go back through where I used to live, now I've got a license, and it doesn't feel the same. You think it will feel the same, and it doesn't. I don't know if anybody can relate to that. That might be a really specific example, but that happened to me a couple of years back when I got my license. I drove back through the village and the towns that I used to live, which is actually Steve's way of living, which is where he lives, and it doesn't feel the same. I now, because I see Steve fairly frequently, I drive through those places quite frequently, so it's just, you know, whatever to me now. But the first time going through, I was like, oh, this is going to be weird. And I'm like, it was a weird feeling, but it wasn't a good feeling. It wasn't the nostalgia I was trying to hit, because I used to cycle and play and walk through those places, and now I'm just driving through it. It's different.
I think with Fortnite it's slightly different, because with a TV show or a film, like constantly repeating the same thing over and over again, like it does just get exhausting. But with something like Fortnite, that it's been like a pretty hot thing in like just pop culture now for like a long time. And it's kind of like I understand bringing it back for like basically a whole new generation of kids now who never got to experience OG Fortnite, I guess. But in the sense of like they're just reselling the same stuff, it's a bit like, but I mean, COD do it all the time, so why not? You know, all these companies do it. But like with a TV show or film, you can just go back and you can rewatch that particular episode or that particular film, and it's just there. You don't have to keep rehashing the same idea over and over and over again. And bringing me back to the main start of this conversation is something I'm really hoping Amazon do not do with Stargate.
Yeah. I'm hoping they don't for your sake, because I don't even watch it, but I'm hoping that they don't. Especially because it's something that people don't really consider this, but you pay for those subscriptions.
Yeah.
And you are just paying for these developers and studios to just rehash stuff. At least in the case of like Fortnite, it is a free game. And although most people do end up buying a skin, at least you know exactly what you're buying. Like you buy a skin and you can play that skin in any game mode. You're not actually paying to play the game. Which, like, if you don't like something that they do, you just don't have to play it. You haven't spent any money on it. So at least with something like Fortnite, there's that. But then all the other, like the movies and stuff, there's a subscription behind what you're watching. So you are essentially paying for it. And if they take something old and change it and add stuff, that's where it's kind of excusable or better. And that's what like Disney do. But a lot of the time they make the movie worse. But at least they tried to make it different.
Well, I mean, I have faith. They brought in like the original writers and even the executive producers of the film, like the original film, to like come in and manage this and craft and curate it. But I mean, like the way, like we've just talked about, like films and television and even games now just rehash the same stuff over and over again. Like it would genuinely be so disappointing. Like if we've waited 14 years so far, by the time it comes out, which will more than likely be with the production rate of TV shows and stuff these days, 2027. So that'll be 16 years. That, you know, we've been waiting for this. And if it just ends up being like the same like rehash stuff, because Amazon, obviously they've been looking at streaming statistics and stuff after they've added these shows to the platforms, and they've seen actually this does do really well. Let's bring it back. If they bring back these original writers with the intention of like, you can come back, but do more of that. Like, I don't mind like referencing it and bringing back like old cast members. Like that.
I mean, that's got to be the reason. That's got to be the reason that Amazon is bringing so many of the old people into it. Like, if they wanted something that was similar, they'd just bring back like a writer or two, or like the main writer, or maybe just the director. But if they really want to just actually continue the series as if it hadn't have taken a day off, you get all the old people in, all the execs, all the directors, all the writers, all the cast, you just get everybody back in. You acknowledge that it's been a few years, but you just move on. You just keep going. It's like, that's the best way to do it. And it will be like, you'll go to view it for the nostalgia, but because they're not actually trying to get your nostalgia, they're just creating more content, original content. You'll stick around for longer, you'll appreciate it more. I think it's the best way to do it, is you'll get the nostalgia from seeing the same actors on the screen, but it will be completely different to what you've seen, and it won't even be trying to be anything like what you've seen, because they're not trying to redo episodes, they are just continuing.
Well, that's what I'm hoping.
Hopefully they don't try and reference too much of previous episodes and try and recreate them in a slightly different way, because that's where it gets a bit samey.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like we've said, you know, off camera, we've spoken briefly about this, is you know, Amazon's pretty good at this sort of stuff. They are one of the biggest, if not the biggest, studio in the world. They've got one of the biggest streaming platforms. If they can't do it, no one can. So you just got to have faith in Amazon that they'll try their hardest to make it work.
Amazon, if you are, you know, if you're listening to this or reading the YouTube algorithms, do not fuck up Stargate or I am coming for you. It's just like it's. I mean, there's no way they can fuck it up because every series they've made, even like the lower rated one, like they are all solid, but they haven't been under Amazon, and it won't be the same as it was. It won't be like a 20 episode or 23 episode run. It'll be 10 episodes because that's just the way TV shows work these days.
You know they're gonna put the money into it. If Amazon decides to do something, they do it properly.
Yeah, that's
so.
Yeah.
They're gonna put the money in. They're gonna get all the right people in. They are going to stoke the fire as much as possible. They're gonna put the right type of wood on. They're gonna get the right fucking petrol to put on there. And they're gonna get the best quality matches. And they're gonna see if the fire takes. If there just happens to be no oxygen around, they tried their best.
Imagine it's just me watching it and nobody else. I am the oxygen.
I've told you that the reason they're remaking it is solely because of you. I think you make up 90% of their statistics. I think you just rewatch it enough for them to just go, wow, there's so many people watching this show that we thought was dead in the water. You know what? Let's reboot it.
It genuinely could be because like I'll throw it on like in the background as I'm doing something. Like if I'm at work prepping food for Sunday lunches, I'll put my phone on the counter and I'll have it on as I'm cutting carrots and peeling potatoes. Or if I'm sat here grinding hammers and nobody's in the Discord, I'll just put it on my phone and sit here and grind camos. Like I know like roughly what's going on anyway, so I don't need to watch it that much. But like,
I'm surprised Amazon isn't legally obliged to email you at this point.
Me too.
Just going, bro, are you good? Like, what the fuck? I'm surprised you haven't got a medal or like just something acknowledging, okay, we get it, you're the #1 fan. Can you please stop? Can you please watch something else?
Yeah.
Or an email just going, you know we have other stuff, right?
I'm surprised because I've been rewatching Person of Interest and they haven't like emailed me and said, has your account been hacked? You're not watching Stargate.
Yeah, we've noticed some fraudulent activity on your account.
Yeah.
You're not watching Stargate.
You best believe like every fucking weekly episode I'm at least gonna review an episode of Stargate when it comes out.
Yeah, there'll be the so just to recap from the start, to get into the top 10% of podcasts, we need to release 4 episodes, and to get into the top 1% of podcasts, we'll need to release 21 episodes. So what's actually going to happen is we're going to post 4 episodes, and then episodes 5 to 21 are just going to be Stargate based. I'm not going to be here, and then once we hit the 1% podcast club, that's when I'll come back. All right, that sounds like a deal. That is not a joke.
I'm doing 100%
It's 100% serious.
For most of the episodes.
No, you're doing 9% of the work. Because I'll get us to the top 10%. Well, we'll get to the top 10% together.
Yeah.
And then to eliminate the other 9% will be the Stargate episodes. And then I'll come back once we're at 1%.
Bro, I don't think I could actually talk about it for that many episodes.
I think that's a fair deal. Yeah, you definitely can. You definitely can.
What would I talk about?
Stargate.
But
you've spoken long enough about it with me. Well, just some context for the viewers, right? On multiple occasions, multiple occasions, Steve and I have been like playing Xbox or whatever, and some fucking moron in the Discord mentioned Stargate, and for the next 2 hours, I'm mindlessly playing a game and my ears are not even receiving sound. I just know there is sound outside my ears. And then it stops, and then I look at my watch, realise it's been 2 hours, and go, fuck, and then go to bed. That has happened on so many occasions. I once actually thought it would be funny, and I don't know why. I thought it would be funny to ask some provoking questions to Steve to try and piss him off about Stargate, and it incited a rant. I don't know what I was thinking. I knew that would happen. I think I insulted the P90.
What the fuck? You don't do that.
And yeah, it was a long night. Don't do it. If you're ever going to insult anything about Steve, don't insult a P90, because fucking hell will you not hear the end of it.
P90's just goated, bro.
Yeah. I'm not gonna disagree, because I actually want this podcast to end at some point. So I'm not gonna disagree.
Good.
Let's wrap it up with a final topic.
I'll let you
Shall we?
pick. Yeah, you can pick the final topic.
I think we should just chuck in a little plug. We've been talking a lot about films and TVs series, and how they're nostalgia baiting and they're very repetitive. But one thing that isn't nostalgia baiting and very repetitive is the Tecshotz movie, part 1, coming out on the 23rd of December this year. Part 2, not a fucking clue. The bloopers are live. If you want to get a feel of the sort of thing that we're doing and laugh at 3 fucking morons trying to make a movie who have never made one before, then you should definitely watch the bloopers.
Also, if you want to see my 4-year-old sister picking her nose, that's in there. If you want to see my mum not be able to
If you want to see that, get help.
Oh, I thought it was funny.
Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, absolutely watch the Tecshotz movie. Part 1, 23rd of December. It's not repetitive. We will not nostalgia bait you. We are not professional actors. We tried our best. Please don't hate us. I think it's pretty good.
Me too.
I mean, I haven't even seen the full release. I'm waiting for the 23rd. I want to be surprised. Obviously, I'm in it, so I know what happens, but I can't wait to see the final release.
Actually, surprisingly,
it'd be very good.
The person who is most excited for it might be my landlord. He's always asking me, like, when's it going to be ready? Like, I don't know,
really?
Mike. It'll be ready when it's ready. It's like, you'll have to show me where to watch it. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. You can be the first official viewer if you want. When I finish it, I'll put it on the TV. Come round, we can
Fair enough.
have a Chinese and sit on the sofa that I don't currently have and watch it.
As long as he's paying for the Chinese.
Yeah, in fairness, I did put a solid like 4 months into the film, so...
Exactly. He wants to watch it so bad, be like, if you really want to watch it, you can pay for the Chinese.
Yeah. And I don't get paid for this as well. They get paid. John, Alfie, Alex, Caleb, they all get paid. I don't get paid. I just do it for the love of the game.
You're the YouTuber. That's not our problem.
Yeah. The unmonetized one, so make sure you all like and subscribe. And
like and subscribe.
Here is
especially for the Tecshotz talks. We will be doing more of these. We are going to get into the 1% club for the podcast. It is going to happen. Yeah. Not in 2025. That's not that long away. It's currently the 26th of November. So that's not going to happen. Oh, it's less than a month to the movie. That's exciting.
We've got a commenter. They said Steve-O. I believe I know who this is.
Duty Clipper.
Like and subscribe. See, look, he's plugging it. Well done, Gabe.
There you go. Like, yep, like and subscribe.
Yeah. It's been an experience. I won't lie. Like, both a stressful
It has.
and interesting.
We've learnt a lot doing the movie, and I think, you know, for the more in-person content to come, we'll definitely be armed with more experience next time.
It is, Gabe.
A lot more prep, and a lot more professionalism, hopefully. It's yeah. Shout out to Gabe.
Who was
Legend.
Yeah, Gabe will be appearing at some point. He will be our first guest. You lot play World of Warcraft? No, we don't, Gabe. For those of you confused, these episodes air live. So I'm responding to comments that you'll be seeing in the comment section in real time. So these episodes will always be live. We need to set an actual day that we will do them. Because right now we do not.
That's quite difficult with our schedules, though.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
Both very busy people.
either Wednesday or Saturday, because I've got every other Saturday off, and Shannon's likely to be at work on a Wednesday evening, giving you the free evening to come on and chat shit.
Yeah, that is usually gonna be. Yeah.
So,
We'll see what we can do. We might be able to do 2 episodes a week if we're feeling up to it, but play it by ear. We're not yet in the 10% podcast club, so we haven't worked that out yet. But I think by the time we get into the 1% club, we'll definitely have to have that figured out. But that'll be 2026 anyway. That's the goal for 2026, is get into the top 1% of podcasts, I think.
yeah. And to get
and
Gabe
then,
on for an episode. That is the
figure out what the fuck we're doing.
podcast goal. Get Gabe on and reach a high percentage of podcasting.
Yeah, and we'll see if we can get some more guests. We might be able to get John on. And he loves talking about himself, so
that
we
would
might
be
be able to
actually
get.
really easy.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to get John on for a bit. He's currently not watching, but he sometimes does. He's just a fucking rude prick.
He just
today.
checks it to make
Really?
sure we're still alive.
I think that's pretty much it. He shows his. I think what he does is he joins the Discord to let us know that he still exists,
Yeah.
because we've all forgotten about him, and then he leaves after about 2 minutes.
Gabe has just raised a fair point as well. You don't just have to sit here, watch my shit gameplay and listen to our voices. You can put us on in the background while you're doing something, and just listen along.
Listen to us while you do the laundry.
Yeah.
Listen to us while you watch gameplay of another streamer whose voice you hate.
Yeah.
There's plenty of options. Listen to us in the car.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
There are multiple different avenues through which you can listen to us. Maybe if we get really good at podcasting, I'll see if we can end up on Spotify.
We'll get us into the top 1%, and we have to get on Spotify, surely.
Imagine.
I'm sure we can swindle that deal.
That might be the only way Tecshotz ever makes any money.
Don't think like that. It's a bit fucking morbid to think of it like that. You're the fucking owner, mate. Gotta be a bit more optimistic. Come on. I know we've just had 2 hours of ranting, but you gotta be a bit optimistic. Fucking hell.
No, we'll make it. We'll make it. We'll make it.
Definitely, I'm glad it's not the optimism show with Tecshotz. We would be failing right now.
You know how you said, like, if we got John on, he'd just sit here talking about himself for ages and we wouldn't have to do anything? And how you also said, when I talk about Stargate, your ears just shut down.
Yeah.
I think that's what I might do when we get John on.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll ask the questions.
Just shut down my brain. In fact,
You
I'll
can just chime in with some yeahs and haha.
I'll start stream, do my housework, other bits, and maybe I'll run a marathon. When I come back, John might be finished talking.
You run a marathon?
I reckon I could. I wouldn't be able to do
Film it.
quickly.
Film it.
Why would I film it? My phone would be dead before I reach the finish
To
line.
prove it. Exactly.
I suppose I could just run until my phone dies. Just have every app open and then stop. iPhone batteries don't last that long. I've got that in my favour.
What a great YouTube video. Running until my phone dies.
Yeah. I ran a marathon until my phone died, but I had every app possible open.
Or we choose phones for each other. You choose a decent model phone for me, and I just have every app open, and I choose a Nokia 3310 for you.
Oh, great.
And you just run for 5 days straight.
I think genuinely that would be the end of me. It's so old and brittle now. I think if I tried to run into the fridge, I wouldn't make it.
You are pushing 50.
Face-off team
Got more
deathmatch.
grey hairs than most 50-year-olds.
Destroy the enemy.
I'll blame you lot.
Mm.
Not you lot listening, just
Nice.
Alfie and Alex mainly.
Yeah, that's rude. How dare you blame the audience?
I don't blame
What do I do? I don't do anything. I'm as calm as a cucumber.
you. The
Cool
single
as a
most
cucumber, that's
fucking
the thing.
stressful human being I've ever had the misfortune of meeting. You've accidentally started a podcast in my name that I now have to maintain.
You should be thanking me for that.
Well,
I see that as a good thing. That's can't possibly be a bad thing.
what happens when we run out of things to talk about? What do we talk about?
Oh, we won't run out of things to talk about. It's us. I can talk endlessly about any topic, and you can talk endlessly about Stargate. Problem solved.
Can't just do that for 100 episodes.
There you go. There you go. Now we'll I think we'll. I don't think we need to, but I think we'll get better at talking. So, yeah, as podcast episodes go out, we'll get better at talking amongst ourselves and to nothing.
It'll obviously be easier when we have guests as well, because we can just ask questions and then.
Yeah, I mean, with guests, it'll be questions. It'll be very orientated towards the guest themselves. You know, any stories that they've got and questions or ethical dilemmas. We can create some new segments. Shall I create some new segments? for the next episode?
I've had some thought about like segments and stuff. We could do like a mini game show every episode. Like we could do just like a quiz on something random. Like one of us picks a topic, or we let John or Caleb or someone like that pick the topic, and we do a quiz. And whoever wins,
Yeah, we could do that.
gets bragging rights, I suppose.
Oh, we could do. I love a riddle. That's something about me. I love a riddle.
Hit me with a riddle.
Okay. What starts with T, ends with T, and is full of T?
Starts with T, and as in the letter.
I wouldn't normally give you specifics in a riddle. That's kind of the whole point of a riddle. But in this case, yes, I will tell you. Starts with T, ends with T, as in the letter.
Starts with T, ends with T. And is full of T.
Yes. I very much hope there's a listener right now just screaming the answer at the screen.
Gabe says we should defo do a quiz every episode. So that is confirmed it. Maybe we'll let Gabe organise the first quiz. Starts with T, ends with T, and is full of T. tea?
No, the answer is teapot.
Oh, I was close.
Yeah, you were, but you just
Doesn't
said
end in tea, does it?
so-
Yeah.
No, it's. I'll give you another one, and then probably be time to close it up. I imagine.
Indeed.
We've been recording for a while.
Give me another riddle.
Um,
I'll let them know what to
okay.
expect with Gabe. And then...
Okay. Let's go with. I lose my head in the morning, but regain it at night. What am I?
Pillow.
Oh, good. I like it. You've heard that one before, clearly.
Yeah. I mean, no. I just guessed the answer right away. That was easy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. How about I have no arms, but I have hands? What am I?
I have no arms, but I have hands. Hands. What has... No arms, but I have hands. Fucking T-Rex.
They have arms.
I have arms, but I don't have hands.
No, I have hands, but I don't
Oh.
have arms.
A mouse? Because they
A
have the little
mouse?
hand. Yeah, they have the little hand, and not an arm.
And an arm attached to the hand.
They don't have
What
arms.
the fuck? Yeah, they don't have arms. How do they have hands then?
Well, because I mean, like on the screen, you know, when you're moving it around, there's a little hand.
Oh, a computer mouse.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a hand either.
It shows a hand.
I also said hands, but okay.
I
The
don't-
answer is a clock.
Obviously, it's gonna be my next answer.
Oh, Gabe got it. That came up right after I said it, but there's a 30-second delay, so he definitely said that before I gave the answer.
Well done, Gabe. 10 points. Keep this up, you win a prize. I've got a riddle actually. What crawls on 4 legs, then walks on 2, then 3, or 4 limbs even. We'll go limbs.
Yeah, you kind of messed that up, but it's a human.
Oh.
Crawls on 4 legs as a baby, walks on 2 legs as an adult and child, and then when you become older you have a cane, so you've got 3. Should we wrap it up anyway?
Yes.
We think we've discovered a new segment. We'll think of some more segments to kind of split it up a bit. We'll keep the topics. I like talking about the topics that we've got. We'll switch up the topics every episode, and then we could maybe do a segment each.
Gabe was sat here shouting at the screen.
Oh, I'm glad. We could do a segment each. We could
Yeah.
and have free reign over that segment.
Before we end off then, the next fucking episode will be the interview of the Gabe. Now Gabe has just started a TikTok account with his brother, where they are modifying a vehicle, which I find very fascinating actually. It's just funny watching.
Oh, that does
Gabe's-
sound interesting. I don't watch TikTok, but I like those sorts of videos when I do see them. Sorry, that's useless information.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to introduce some guests next week.
Well, I'm gonna have to watch some before he comes on.
Yeah,
That
I'll
would be rude
send
if I
you the
didn't.
relevant links.
Oh, thank you.
Him and his brother they've been modifying a BMW, I've yet to see them introduce an indicator stalk, but you know, I'm hopeful for the future.
Oh, that's because BMWs don't have one.
Exactly, the ultimate modification. But they have been very fascinating, and since we started this podcast, I was like, who better to have on as a guest than literally someone I've been friends with since preschool? It would just be easy. It would just gel. So that's what we're doing. Gabe will be here in the next episode to explain his sudden interest in creating car TikToks and what else he's planning to do with it. But until then, you're left with this episode and episode 1, so suck it, nerds. There will be an announcement in the Discord, which is links in the it's links in the description. Links Africa in the description. The Discord is linked in the description, so you can find announcements about changes to episodes, etc. there. But the next episode will not be Saturday, so it will either be next Wednesday or next Saturday, depending on availability. So we will we'll see you then. Oh yeah, Gabe.
Thank you very much for listening/watching.
Gabe doesn't know what an indicated stalk is. He's just left.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Classic BMW owner.
So
He also doesn't know what a speed limit is. Presumably.
Gabe's driving's alright. He's only crashed me in the car once.
Oh, that's a great standard.
Yeah, Alex was there too. It happens.
Alright. Shit happens when you're having fun.
Yeah, right. It is what it is, isn't it? We had fun.
If you don't crash, it wasn't fun.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Don't worry about it.
Oh. Well, we will see you guys in the next episode. Until then, I've been Alfie.
And I've been Steve.
And this has been the Tecshotz Talks podcast. Au revoir!
Bye-bye.